personal life. You're fucking with my money, and this affects my personal life, and I have all these people that depend on me and shit like that. And and then you have something like this in your back pocket. It's like, sure, like being a sociopath is one thing, dude, but being a sociopath and a hypocrite, like,
yeah,
that's wild.
Yeah, it is
something that I went out of my way to fucking point out. It was literally he marked out the brother, mother, and father of this person. So it's, and I don't want to say who the person is because again, I don't want to involve more people in this. I just know that again, I want to make people aware that he doesn't really stand on anything. He utters a line so much, and it's, if you stand for nothing, you fall for everything. And the man is actually not lying. He will fall for anything.
So what okay, so besides the obvious, like, what benefit does he have to having a list? Like, what risk are these people at right now? Like, do you feel like, because outside of this, like, I mean, obviously my DMs are my DMs alone. I have no intention of sharing this myself. I understand the severity and I understand the risk personally. And I'm just kind of worried for the people who are on this list, because this is just a screenshot. Obviously, this isn't one file. He still presumably has the original list, the original files.
Like, I won't say that I'm fucking, like, I've used DMs and brought up old shit, but like I've used the DMs and I've approached people who the DMs were from with them. Like, no, like, this is what you said. This is what you said to me.
Right. Yeah,
right? Like,
that's not personal information, right?
Yeah,
there. I mean, there's no comparison.
Yeah, it's like I've said like, oh well, so and so said this, and then when I'm approached about it, and it's like, yeah, because you did say that. Like, it's like I'm not like we're trying to be all out open and honest about it, but like if you're worried about things you say in DMs, then maybe you should say things in public if you're that worried about them. And it's not like because like I don't like standing on a high horse and being transparent because I'm no fucking saint. But it's like I've never said anything or alluded to anything behind anybody's back that I wouldn't say to their face. And but this is obviously a grand scale on that. But I don't want to sit here and pretend that I'm some fucking, you know, arbiter. I don't want to. What is the word? What's that word?
Grandstand.
Yeah, I don't want to grandstand. I don't want to. What is? Oh my God, it comes to the V. What am I trying to say? Virtue signal.
Yeah.
You know. But it's like, this is, like you said, you enter a whole nother category, bro.
Yeah. Yep.
Like yeah, man. I mean, I appreciate Speak, you know, rated my channel, and I got some subs from him. If the subs that I got from my time on Virtual Combat go away, that's a L I'm willing to take, bro, because I can't associate with somebody who does that shit.
Well, you wouldn't want to anyway, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Knowing that, like, even if there was hints at it, like I went to Virtual Combat that one time, and it wasn't even the fact that it was necessarily a judgment call I was making about Speak, because he was always cool with me, but I didn't want to be involved in that sort of content. I didn't want to be involved in like drama content or like negative content. And I go on there and I roast fucking people and I talk shit to people. Like fucking Dave got it really bad for me all the time. But at the end of the day, it was for entertainment purposes. I was doing it as an act to be funny because that's what the show called for. But I have been trying really hard. Like, I'm a negative person already. If I'm going to be doing this as a hobby, I don't want my negativity to be involved into something that I enjoy. So like, it felt like it was tapping into a part of myself that I didn't really like. And I've tried to keep my shit on a positive thing. And the only reason, like I said, I'm reacting to this stuff is because I know all the players.
In your vicinity, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So
yeah,
like,
there's no personal involvement or you're trying to get in on this or anything.
yeah,
I think you've made your brand very clear about that sort of thing. That you're just like, hey, I'm just observing this, commentating, you're commenting on it.
yeah. But I mean, I can go on the record as saying is like, I have no interest in being associated with Speak if I don't take. I've technically known Speak longer than I have Hornet, but there's too many people reaffirming all this shit for me to not take it as being 100% on the up and up.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Like, do you feel like those people should be worried? Like, what sort of
I have thought about contacting the people,
The Bussy Bandito.
but again, it
That's just something Mike Crab said.
just seems so weird that I feel like I don't know if he's actually going to do anything with it. But given his hot-headedness again, I wouldn't put it past him. And I just want the whole reason I'm bringing this up in any like format is because again, I want people to make people aware that if he has your personal information, he will actually try to fucking gather as much as possible. And not just you, he will go after your family just as much as anyone else will. And that's why when he goes at Nicolino or Jimbo or whatever, it kind of peeved me off at the end there, where it was just like seeing him talk about we should never dox, and then knowing that this is sitting in my DMs because I can't delete his messages. I have to kind of just let it sit there and fucking permeate, right? Like I have to let it fucking stew there. And obviously I'm not going to release any of this information because again, I have nothing against that person.
Yeah.
But it's just one of the things where it's just I think this is one of the grossest things that I've seen from him particularly, and that's why I kind of wanted to get into this a bit.
You're in the right community, Brazilian. But I'm only toxic when it comes to video games and talking shit.
To your knowledge,
Because
do you know
again,
that any of this information has been acted on already?
I have, to my knowledge, I know he's used the person's information publicly to search up certain things, but nothing that's actionable, I would say. But again, I've been out of the loop for like 3 months, or like 2 months, 3 months. I don't know how long it's actually been, but people don't collect that kind of information just to have, right? Like, there's obviously a reason you have that information. So it's something that I just wanted to touch on today because he tried to delete it out of the DMs today. I have screen recordings of my DMs beforehand and afterwards. So whatever he decides to delete, it's fine. Everything's already documented. He can try and say I'm lying about it. If he tries to release that information and try to say I'm lying about that information, I will contact the person that's on that information and let them know, hey, this information is known by this person. If you want to contact them, here's this information. Blah blah blah.
Attaboy. Avoided Hornet playing the fucking the great game, dude. Smart man, bro. Way to fucking cover your ass, bro. My man.
I think that I know that you had to send it to me. Again, I understand the severity of having something like this. I have no intention of using it. I have no intention of being involved past this point. I think that is fair. I think that he should probably notify the person on the list, whoever it is. And, if you feel the inclination to do it on, your own behalf, I could totally understand that. It seems like maybe even the responsible thing to do. But again, I don't even think that I want to leave that necessarily lying on you. You didn't make the list. So
Yeah, I also want to be clear that it's not specifically a list. It's records of a certain person. It's phone numbers, addresses, former addresses, email addresses, addresses of family members' name, phone numbers of the family members. It's a lot.
So this is one person's?
This is one person. That's just
Okay.
one person, and
Okay,
which
so-
makes me think that there is other stuff in the background that I don't have access to.
Okay,
Because why would he only have this one person?
So let's be clear. Okay, so I'm seeing. It looks like you deleted the DM, so I can't see it anymore.
Oh yes, I can upload them again. I just
No,
don't want
that's fine. I just want to be clear, because I just noticed that.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, the list, like what I saw, like again, there are multiple pages screenshotted into like a stitched grid form. And so when I said list, I said so because there's so much information there that it's actually kind of hard to believe that it's all one person, one person's family. Like that's fucked right up. I'm a little
It's fun.
blown away by that actually.
Yeah,
okay.
and again, that's why I'm just like, he's not above collecting any information on anyone, and to take it to this level of like just collecting, it's actually wild to see someone do this, and
So
it's so weird because at the time it felt like he was trying to show off to me and Resto that he was able to get this.
What the fuck?
Okay, just quickly,
Weird flex.
definitely tell that one person if I was you. Just to be clear, like I see the screenshots of the information in a grid form, so I couldn't really click it to open, expand on the information. I don't even necessarily know who this is. I don't care to know who this person is. I just hope that that this person finds out, obviously, so that they can do what they need to do to protect their information. Because holy fuck, that is a lot of information about one person, and that is like pretty scary to see that. To be completely honest with you,
It's the next level of a logging, right? Like that is the definition of a logging someone. Like you have all of their information. It's not even a bit of their information.
yeah.
So he is, but again, I want to make it clear that he never released this information. He just sent it to me, and again, just having this information is concerning to me, and I want to make the public aware of this, because again, if he's gonna do this kind of shit and try and drag me into like his personal bullshit, then I will fucking tell everyone what the fuck you're doing in the background. Even though you kind of try to keep me out of it, or try to lump me in with certain things that I'm not responsible for. Because again, I'm not going to be manipulated by him. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, dude, me too.
That's jump scare, dude.
Oh shit. Neve would have a big picture of herself.
Oh yeah, for real, literally.
Lauren, just give me a moment, and then I will read that out. Just give me a few seconds. So okay, so. Yeah, that's kind of like that's a pretty big burden as well, especially because like if you're like okay. Like I always have this joke basically where it's like my friends, you know, I feel like I'm very like loyal to my friends. Obviously, I try to be IRL ones especially, and so but I always say like tongue in cheek basically, except like if you know, but if you kill someone, don't tell me. Like, right? Because the social like pressures, the burden of somebody conveying that much like that degree of like a crime to you, it like you simultaneously get kind of covered in the shit. So I'm just hoping that people can kind of like sympathize with you and saying like you weren't sitting there fucking arms open waiting for that information, that it was sent to you as like as a way to like show some sort of like I don't know, like look what I can do almost, you know?
It was basically that. It was just showing off to, like, Resto can testify to that because he was in the call as well. And I think that's when Resto soured a bit, because he was just like, we're not going to use this, right? And again, this is just one.
I know, Brazilian. Jesus Christ. My fucking primos would be like, hey, fool, you fucking kill someone? What are they for? It's all right. I got a place in Mexico. You can go away.
Bruh.
These things where it's just like, it felt super weird at the time. And
Jay laughs, but he's got cousins who would do that for him too.
you kind of want to put it in the back of your head, being like, I know this person, he wouldn't do something like this, blah, blah, blah. But when you start seeing more and more and more things stack up, you kind of...
Only thing I kill are fucking carne asada fries, dog.
That
Yeah.
And my toilet after fucking too much protein.
kind of reasoning in your brain just kind of goes away, right? Especially with someone like me, like that doesn't take a lot to get there. but it did take some time. Like, I'm not perfect. I didn't just, as soon as something wrong went down, I was able to leave, right? Because again, I truly thought he was a friend. I worked very closely with him to make the channel what it is today. And just put in so much effort of my time and effort into that thing that it just kind of felt shitty to fucking just abandon him.
Fair enough. Yeah, it seems like you had, like I said, you invested definitely a lot of energy, a lot of your time. You know, you had some shared
Allegedly.
responsibilities as far as the content that you had produced, and it's really shitty to see that you guys have, you know, to see you guys in a spot now where, you know, it doesn't seem like you'll likely reconcile, you know, your differences, and maybe you shouldn't, right? People who are doing this sort of thing is kind of crazy, pretty heinous. I'm personally thinking about my own information now in this stream. I'm like, would he? I don't know. But I mean, at least to this point, we know that, you know, to our knowledge, he hasn't acted on any of this information, but we know he's not above collecting it on principle. I think that that's kind of fucked up. That's definitely something that should be noted. And yeah, I think just ultimately, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? Like, that's actually insane. Again, still blown away by the volume of information. I think that to me is fucking crazy.
Yeah, it would seem like it would be a lot of people when you're looking at the list, like from a glance.
Yeah.
It seems like it's a bunch of people, but when you look closely, it is specifically one person's everything.
Well, I
Like,
genuinely don't
everything-
know what's worse. What's worse, right? Like, I guess a list of a bunch of people's information, sure, yes. But when you see one person and literally like pages, like, that's fucking insane. Like, that's insane. I'm gonna say it like how it is. I just want to take a moment quickly and just thank Lauren so much for the $20 super chat. I see you doing cartwheels. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. As far as like anything else, do you like, this isn't somebody like, oh, I guess like, we'll see what happens. I think that there are some people who think that this person should be notified. I again don't even know really who it is, because I like look at the fuck.
What's up?
Is there anything illegal about like just collecting information about a person?
Well, considering private investigators exist
You need a license for that, you know?
to collect the information, but it's like, that's allegedly what he may have done, right? Which is have somebody collect this information for him, right?
Well, have they said that?
Well, Hornet didn't say that he had someone collect it for him. So like, I'm only going to maintain the private investigator example. So if I had a private investigator that was trying to look into somebody who I thought might be trying to blackmail me or something, like, hey man, this guy showed up at my place. Here's his license plate. Can you get me everything you can on this guy? Right. So the private investigator is like, here's where he works. Here's his name. Here's where he lives.
Oh, I get you.
Right.
And so there you have access to that information. So it's like, you wouldn't be illegal, presumably, in that circumstance.
Right. But yeah, he bragged about doing it. Right. Bragging about, well, doing it himself. Oh yeah. So according to Mudcrab, he did it himself. Right. So like, I guess, like to some extent it's stalking, I guess. And that,
I think stalking involves harassment, right?
yeah, I mean, I guess, because if that person doesn't know that you're collecting the information on them, but you collecting the information in and of itself, because a lot of this stuff is public record, technically.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's why I'm wondering. Like,
No, I agree. I'm sorry. I was reacting to the chat though. Like, yeah, like Brazilian, it is fucked. Yeah, it being fucked is enough for me to alienate Speakeasy from wanting to interact with him. But what me and Jay are talking about is whether or not it's like actually illegal to collect that information on somebody. The internet will let you know what they think. Yeah. I mean, the court of public opinion is one thing, but what we're talking about is legality. We're just me and Jay are having a conversation about legality. Just for our own, just for the sake, we're just having a conversation. So yeah, Jay, I mean, I don't know. I think Is it fucked up? Is it weird? Are you a creep for doing it? Sure. But
Yeah.
is it illegal? I do not know. Because like I said, the private investigator example is the one I can think of, because if I was looking for somebody that didn't know I was looking for them, if it was nefarious for nefarious reasons or not, like, you know, I was looking for my lost child, Easy made a YouTube channel using the dude's full name so he could fuck with him. That's harassment, yeah? Easy made a YouTube channel using the dude's full name so he could fuck with him. That's harassment. Well, I mean, the law being broken there is like, that's identity theft, I think.
No. You can go on social media and name yourself anything. You're not impersonating the person. Well, even if you are impersonating somebody, I don't think that's illegal. I think that's I don't think it might break terms of service, but it's not legal.
Yeah, it's like he made a YouTube channel using the dude's full name, so he. Oh, okay, yeah. So yeah, I agree with Jay. I think you can name yourself whatever you want to name yourself. It's definitely fucked up and weird, but I'm Tom Holland. Okay, dude. Okay, dude. All right, let me see. This video is almost over. Really, I got 8 more minutes.
Thing, and I opened it, and you deleted it, so I'm like not 100%
Yeah,
sure.
I'm trying to-
I want to hear Neve's breakdown at the end.
So I'm happy
Yeah,
that you
I'm
did. To
trying-
be honest, like
Yeah, I'm trying to
but-
protect this person's identity as much as possible because, again, just having this much, it felt gross.
Okay. Yeah,
So
pretty.
now I just-
Certainly,
it
certainly
was
very
just-
burdensome.
Yeah. The only reason, again, I screenshotted it again is because, again, I knew he was going to try and delete that and try to get away with it, essentially. But that's why I recorded all of my DMs with him earlier this week, before he deleted anything this afternoon. Everything's kind of like laid out. I put I have it all transcribed as well. So anytime that he wants to try and challenge me on any of these things, I have my proof. That is, again, video recording, the actual like writing out of everything. It's all there, so I don't have to really worry about having to prove anything on my side.
Brazilian said Neve gets all serious and somber, like it's 60 Minutes.
That's funny.
What he has to actually do is disprove me
What the
at
fuck?
this point, because I've made a lot of positive claims tonight. If he doesn't
You
want
saw that
to,
too,
that's
right? That wasn't me.
Yeah.
I do have
All
like
right, just make
3
sure.
things I want to say before closing.
Yeah, of course.
Number
Hey guys, like the stream. I'll say that. If you guys are here for the first time, consider liking the stream.
1,
And follow me on Twitch, !Linktree.
the only reason I came forward about
Follow Jay Chisel. JAECHIZZLE on Twitch.
Yep.
any of this,
That's
or
JAE
even involve
CHIZZLE.
myself in
One more time, Jay.
JAECHIZZLE. Hell yeah. Twitch.tv.
drama, because again, I typically don't like doing that. I like to stay away, just like let things kind of simmer, you know.
Yeah, of course.
Fool, you've been here the whole time you didn't like. Fuck you, Brazilian.
The only reason I came out about any of this is because he decided to drag my name out. He started associating me with certain things where I'm just like, I didn't do shit, so I don't know why the fuck you're bringing my name into this. So it was just kind of like one of these things where it's just like, okay, if you think I'm
Pinchy pendejo.
gonna hide from you, then I'll come out and fucking say whatever the fuck you don't want me to say. Because again, it's one of these things that I don't think he really considered, that I had so much background knowledge because I was in a unique position. Most streamers with their with their head mods are pretty interlinked, right? There's a lot of communication going back and forth. You know a lot about what's going on behind the scenes. So just going at me was kind of probably a
That's right. I told Karantos I wanted all the power in the Discord. I'll say it.
mistake on his end. Number 2, I wanted to share some of the things because, again, I feel partially responsible for letting him grow to this size, right? Because the amount of work and the amount of effort that I put into just essentially build the channel kind of feels like I have responsibility to let people know what's going on as well. So that's also kind of what led me to this point where I was just like, yeah, I have to go on Neve's stream and say something, right? Because I was gonna make a public statement, but obviously I've said a lot tonight.
Well, to be frank, though,
But
like doing this stream was my idea, and again, just really based on a lot of the things that I was seeing. I knew who to talk to.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, yeah, it was just that I just kind of felt like I was morally obliged to have to say something about some of these things, to confirm some of the stuff that Crab was saying, confirm some of the stuff Resto was saying, or some of the other stuff that any other person that has had a problem with him. And thirdly, I do want to state, fuck the Mean Girls, fuck Jimbo and his stand, fuck the Lightning Tigers, and fuck Easy too. You're all the fucking same people. I don't fucking associate. Don't fucking ever try to associate me with these fucking people. I get that shit straight, bro. And with that, Hornet is
Gang shit.
out.
Thanks so much for your
Hornet is
time. Hornet. I
out.
appreciate it.
Oh, he just DC.
Damn, he didn't even hear the fucking farewell from her, bro.
Oh, dude, let's
Bro does not
go.
have
Oh, that's what I'm talking about, dude. Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
All right, let's hear Dave wrap it up.
I'll be completely real with you. I don't know a lot of the people that he just referenced, if I'm being completely honest with you. But I'm sure you guys will
Thank you, Mud. I was gonna correct him myself.
work it out. So let's just do a brief summary of what sort of happened today.
Pendejo.
If you guys have any questions, I can reach out to, I don't know if Resto or Mudcrab are still here or Hornet are still here. But, you know, if they want to answer a few questions, they can. If they don't, that's fine. I have no problem just kind of capping off the way we've been today. But let's be real. Let's talk about what happened today. So we went over Resto's
You're supposed to say TLDR. Hello. Come on, Neve. It's like literally the name of your show.
diss track called Pushback. Mods, if we can put Resto's channel in the chat, please, and just kind of show people where they can find it if they want to. The diss track is called Pushback. Resto released it on Wednesday. It's getting a lot of support right now, which is really cool. It is almost exclusively about Easy, and you know, take that for how you will. But Resto did do a breakdown of this, about an hour ago. All right, and then we had Mudcrab talk about some of the mod dynamics, some of the more really interesting and sus things that had kind of occurred. One of the examples brought up was that the mod groups, women and men, were separated by gender. They were not allowed to communicate with each other for whatever reason. So that was one thing.
That's
and then
so
Hornet
crazy.
had just talked and kind of
Only W in this whole stream, I want to say.
discussed, his experiences having been a top mod for Easy, things over the past, and some of the things that gave him the ick, enough to want him to leave the community, getting dragged into things that he wasn't actually involved with, not really approving of the behavior, and ultimately seeing something like collecting people's information with, not an actual dox. The dox did not occur, let's be clear. But we would only have to assume with the intention of doing so sometime in the future. So let's be really clear about that. I asked Resto, Mudcrab, and Hornet if they wanted to take questions. I know Mudcrab said that he would be willing to. So if anybody has any questions for Mudcrab, please let me know. I think that you could possibly come up into VC if you wanted to. But I think as of for now, if anyone has any questions in chat.
All right, you shut the fuck up. All right. Wow, dude. Wow. Quite the event there.
Nobody understands the importance of ballistic calculations these days.
What does he even do on stream?
Speak.
Yeah, dude.
He apparently does a little true crime like investigation stuff and reacts with different communities about like true crime shit, like the true crime community. And but as far as like some of the stuff that I've seen has been revolving around like public disputes with like streamers calling out their hypocrisy and lies and bullshit and things like that. A lot of his videos and shit revolved around a lot of that shit. But I would, you know,
This
tune
is
in
so
for a
funny.
little bit at a time.
How, like, I don't even. How did you get involved in that? How did Neve get involved? How did anyone discover this person at all?
So, oh, here we go. Here's Jet Pop. So, I got introduced to Speak through King of Cock. He was a contestant on King of Cock.
Okay.
That's how I met him originally. And King of Cock primarily, and then I can't remember what happened like specifically. He invited me, like fast forward to like me being on Food Shop stream and him come in and pressing people on Food Shop streams about something or whatever, and
I think I remember that.
yeah, something about like women being responsible for abortions.
Oh,
Yes.
I remember that. Yes, yes.
And so anyways, that was pretty much it. And then he when Virtual Combat was starting up, he invited me to one of them. I don't think I went to the first one. I think Neve did. And she ended up winning it. And then I went on the second or third one and I won it. And then that was kind of the last time I really had any communication with Speak. But I had met Dave there and like Mantis a little bit. And then Mantis went through her whole arc with Tom. And that's when I kind of met Mud Crab. And I only met Hornet recently. And yeah, that was pretty much it. What's up, Sharkblood? How you doing, buddy? And
Okay, so it's part of the debate community then, type side of it, right?
yeah, I would say that that's kind of where my exposure to him was. But as far as like what his content was, like he was always either talking true crime or he was like in verbal disputes. I remember one he got into with this guy who was like a fighter or something. It's African American gentleman. His name escapes me at the moment.
Oh. Did he make a diss track on him? Easy made a diss track on him, right? Don't you know about that?
I don't know if he made a